Hello 3381 friends, I'm wearing my Halloween tie as we approach Halloween. In the past, when I have gone trick-or-treating with my children, I wear this outfit and then hold a sign saying, "Guy who eats candy." It works sometimes. Most of the time, I just have to beg candy off my kids. They are cuter than I am and are more likely to get the good stuff. Alright, we are finishing Unit 4 and preparing for the second exam. I've posted an exam review guide in the online classroom. I want to review a few things to try to help you as you prepare for the exam. Let's talk a little bit about ETFs. Remember, ETFs are less expensive for a couple of reasons. They tend to follow an index and they are typically passively managed, though there are ETFs across the spectrum from conservative to aggressive. Do you remember the difference between active and passive management? Active management involves paying someone to manage the mutual fund. Obviously, this costs money, and the active manager needs to perform well enough to make up for his or her costs, or else it is not a good deal. Research has shown that the typical active manager doesn't outperform the market. In other words, for most individuals, it is not worth the cost to have someone actively manage their funds. This is different than a financial planner, which we will discuss in Unit 6. ETFs are a good way to diversify your portfolio. They are typically professionally managed, not actively managed, and they have low internal costs. Now for a bit about alternative investments, which include things like collectibles, options and futures, and real estate. Alternative investments are generally riskier than traditional investments. They also tend to be relatively illiquid, but they can add diversification to portfolios because they tend not to be correlated with traditional financial investments. Okay, what about REITs? If you see a question that reads, "REITs are a type of bond issued by real estate companies," the answer is false. REITs are typically offered through investment companies, not real estate companies, and they are funds, not bonds. There are a handful of questions about annuities. Remember that annuities are for older individuals who may be concerned about longevity risk, which is the risk of outliving one's resources. There are immediate annuities that begin payouts immediately, and deferred where payouts start sometime in the future. There are fixed annuities where there is a fixed payout and the individual doesn't have control over the investment options. On the other hand, the payouts on a variable annuity vary based on the performance of the investments that you get to choose. The fees on annuities can be really high, and for most situations, the fixed immediate annuity using just part of one's financial assets is the best route to go. And finally, taxes. Make sure you remember that tax loss harvesting is when an investor uses investment losses to offset taxes on gains. Once all the gains are offset, if there are still losses, they can be used to offset ordinary income, but only up to $3,000 in any given year. Remember that not all investment income is taxable. For example, if you sell your home for more than you bought it, some of the gain from the investment may not be taxable. Also, capital gains from investments in Roth IRAs may not be taxable. FYI, I was looking at the exam questions as I wrote the script for this video, so those of you who took the time to watch this video may find the information I just shared very helpful. Okay, before I sign off, don't forget to get started in Unit 5 before you take Exam 2. Unit 5 opens on Saturday, and you'll want to get started on the participation questions before the exam so that you have a chance to get into the discussion board and discuss the questions well before they close on the 26th. In Unit 5, we will discuss some of the basic time value money situations as they relate to financial goals, and we will discuss developing an investment plan. We will discuss a roadmap to creating your own portfolio, including the importance of an investment policy statement. Finally, I wanted to mention that I'm surprised that many of you are not taking advantage of the many opportunities I am offering for extra credit. That surprises me a bit because most of the opportunities are not all that difficult. Anyway, I think I'm preaching to the choir because the individuals who watch these videos tend to be the same ones who do the extra credit. So enough said. Thanks everyone. Good luck on the second exam, and I look forward to our interactions in Unit 5 discussion board.